So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler.
Who do you got for the Canelo versus Crawford fight?
I can tell you simply, all night, Canelo, Canelo, Canelo.
Woo! When you came in, this is going to be a pro Canelo crowd. How you feeling about it?
He has the accolades to show it all off too. And of course, with Terence, I believe is.
Hi again, Coach. They say the Crawford got injured, and then is that true? What people say that? 100%. He's ready for the fight for this Saturday. You gotta say that in the news, right? In the news. You got it. Thank you very much.
Rumors of a Crawford injury had fans buzzing, but his coach shut them down without hesitation. With fight night just a day away, the message was clear: Crawford is healthy, focused, and ready for the biggest challenge of his career. No shoulder problems, no excuses, only business. In boxing, stories like these spread fast, often used to shake confidence or unsettle fans. But Crawford's camp didn't blink. They want the world to know that nothing will stop him from walking into Allegiant Stadium and facing Canelo Alvarez. For Crawford, this week isn't about talk, it's about action. When the bell rings, rumors won't matter. The truth will be written inside the ring.
I have a shoulder injury. Do you have a shoulder injury? Is that the Spanish?
Where I got a shoulder injury, I don't know. I think people coming up with their own, antics. Terence Crawford got shoulder injury. Terence Crawford got saved.
Crawford laughed off the questions about a supposed shoulder problem. At 37, he's heard it all before. This is a man who's conquered super lightweight, dominated welterweight, and even snatched gold at super welterweight. Now he's stepping into uncharted territory, chasing history as the first male boxer to become undisputed in 3 weight classes. Standing across from him is Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican superstar who has ruled super middleweight for nearly a decade. It's a massive challenge, but Crawford thrives on exactly this kind of pressure.
Which I think is really interesting, the Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Because how does Crawford compete with that size? Crawford is leapfrogging. He goes to super middleweight.
47 to 54, and now to 68.
And the Madrigal fight in 54 is a difficult fight.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock you.
1000%.
I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young.
For Crawford, the buildup hasn't been all cheers. At the grand arrivals in Las Vegas, boos echoed through the crowd as Canelo's fans made their presence felt. Yet Crawford didn't flinch. If anything, it fueled him more. He's always carried a chip on his shoulder, and disrespect has never shaken him. It sharpens him. His trainer, Brian Bomack McIntyre, knows this side of Crawford well. Just like when he predicted he'd dismantle Errol Spence Jr. 2 years ago, and then did it. Crawford turns negativity into energy. This time, he'll need every ounce of it against the biggest challenge of his career.
How you feeling, champ?
I feel great. I feel good.
A lot of boos when you came in. This is going to be a pro Canelo crowd. How you feeling about that?
Oh, this ain't nothing different than when I went to Scotland and fought Ricky Burns. So I'm cool with it.
It's nothing different at Allegiant Stadium, the biggest fight since Pacquiao and Mayweather.
Hey, listen, they all gonna be quiet come Saturday.
They're all gonna be quiet come Saturday? Thank you, bud. Appreciate it, champ. Where's Bomack?
Crawford brushed off the noise from Canelo's fans with ease. He compared it to his trip to Scotland years ago when he beat Ricky Burns in front of a hostile crowd. For him, this is nothing new. The boos don't shake him, they motivate him. Saturday night at Allegiant Stadium, in what many call the biggest fight since Mayweather. Pacquiao, Crawford believes those same voices will fall silent once the punches start flying. Across from him, Canelo carries the weight of Mexico on his shoulders, fighting again on Independence Weekend, a stage where he always
says that he thinks Bomack might throw the towel in to stop the fight.
Oh, could be. In boxing, everything can happen, right?
You believe you knock him out?
Canelo remains confident, but cracks have begun to show. Earlier this year in Saudi Arabia, against William Skull, he didn't look as sharp as the Canelo of old. Questions have been raised. Is time finally catching up with him? That's what makes this matchup fascinating. Crawford is smaller but quicker, slicker, and more tactical than many of Canelo's past opponents. The question is whether his speed and sharpness can offset the size, strength, and experience of a champion who has dominated super middleweight for years.
What do you got for the Canelo versus Crawford fight?
I can tell you simply, all night, Canelo, Canelo, Canelo. Woo!
Fans and analysts remain split. Andre Ward, an undefeated legend, says both men have everything to lose. A loss here won't erase careers, but it will shape legacies. For Canelo, another defeat fuels talk of decline. For Crawford, moving up 2 weight classes only to suffer his first loss could be a painful mark on an otherwise perfect record. Ward admitted it's hard to bet against Crawford. He's done everything asked of him, but boxing is cruel. On nights like these, the sport remembers failure longer than success.
So I feel like even though Canelo has had some mishap, the confidence is still there because I got a good reason why I had a couple of draws and I had a couple of losses. But Terence, he's never been turned away as a professional. He's never been beaten. And we don't have
Not everyone is backing Alvarez. Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas has doubled down on Crawford, pointing to his speed, timing, and footwork as potential keys. Atlas argues Canelo's slower movement has been exposed before, most famously against Mayweather. Crawford, he believes, has the tools to exploit it again. Still, Canelo's body shots remain deadly, capable of breaking down anyone in front of him. The question is, can he land cleanly on someone as sharp, elusive, and unpredictable as Crawford?
I more singled out Tim Cheatham because of the inconsistency.
Because of his past record.
Yeah, I didn't think Loma lost to Haney. That was one of them. I just talked about the Zoo versus Fundora, number 1. That one, unbelievable. Richardson Hitchens versus Lemos, way too wide. Just recently, we watched a great fight. Figueroa versus Joet Gonzalez. Way too wide for Figueroa. There's been too many examples of that.
If I'm with Canelo, I think I'm happy with Cheatham.
If you're the trainer, if you're Bomac in this case for Terence Crawford, and you say absolutely not, I'm protesting that judge, I want him replaced, what does that look like?
You can't say who you want, but you can put in for rejecting somebody. If I'm with Crawford, I'm thinking, Jesus, this is a guy who had it real close with Canelo Big One. For me, I had people winning 11 rounds. All right, even if you said 10, you'd be kind of generous. But to have it that close, I mean, come on. And then the other fights you talked about. I mean, he's got a track record where the problem with him isn't just that he's so off and the numbers are so off. They're off for always the A fighter. That's the thing that puts a light on in my mind, that puts a danger light on, is that he's always, Canelo's the A guy, always, right? We know that. We don't have to dispute that. So it's not like he's on the side of the B guy. He's always on the side of the guy that the promoter would want.
Judging has become another hot topic around this fight. Some critics worry about scorecards favoring the A side, and in this case, that's clearly Canelo. Past fights have sparked debate, and Crawford's camp knows the risks. Close rounds could easily swing the wrong way, making it crucial for Crawford to leave no doubt. Boxing history is filled with controversial decisions, and this clash is too big to let judging steal the spotlight. Fans want a clean, decisive outcome between two champions at the peak of their craft.
Canelo, if you could give some pointers to Crawford, what should he do to come out victorious in September?
I think you just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. Let's stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. I think the weight will play a factor in the fight, but listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities.
Former opponent John Ryder knows firsthand how dangerous Canelo can be. He sees this matchup as a true 50-50 fight, praising Crawford's skill, adaptability, and footwork, but warning about Canelo's natural size and power. Ryder reminded fans that the Mexican superstar is patient. He gathers data early, then punishes mistakes later. Crawford may lean on the Bivol blueprint of movement and distance, but stepping up against a bigger man comes with risks. For Ryder, greatness lies in taking opportunities, even when the odds are heavy.
Let's hear about it, Dre. I like a lot of things about the fight. I like that Bud took his time when it beefed up early because he knew it was coming. So when you got time to get ready and get right, that's a big thing. You can't take nothing away from Canelo. Canelo has been there for a while. Great puncher, great boxer puncher. If Bud can take the punch, which we're pretty sure he can do, we'll have a good fight on our hands. I think there are several ways for Bud to win it, but one way for Canelo to lose it. I ain't gonna disclose that.
Roy Jones Jr., who knows all about climbing weight classes, believes Crawford has multiple paths to victory. His main concern? Canelo's hunger. If the Mexican icon is still as motivated as ever, it could be a long night for Crawford. But if time, money, and years at the top have dulled his edge, the smaller man's drive may carry him through. Jones respects Canelo's power and experience, yet he sees in Crawford a fighter sharp enough and hungry enough to make history.
Some people are taking it as a sign of a decline from Canelo. What's your opinion on it?
The decline of Canelo has been very, very small, but the decline of Canelo has already begun. I don't know if I can say the same thing about Crawford, but when you look at almost 70 fights, he's almost 70 fights, right, for Canelo Alvarez. That alone should give you the understanding that this guy isn't where he was when he had 50 fights. It's impossible. Respectfully, it's impossible. I don't know if you guys watch football, but we saw Tom Brady be almost electric until his end. But even in his end, he had moments where he didn't look like he did when he had 6 rings, when he had 5 rings. It just is a part of life. So there's been a decline of Canelo probably since the fight with Caleb Plant, maybe, where I could see that he transformed his style into this style of being able to push the gas pedal when he wants to and let go of it when he wants to. And the benefit that he had in that was he had guys in the ring with him that had a level of fear, had a level of tentativeness, had a level of hesitancy that helped with him being able to go like this. I think now he's in the ring with someone who, when he sees him pull off, Crawford's going to do what it takes to make him go back like that, you know? So I think there's been a decline in Canelo. Canelo, as I've said before, he used to be an A+ fighter. Now he's an A- fighter. You're still better than 98% of the fighters, especially in your division. But it's a very small. But if you have
Sean
trained
Porter,
eyes, you can see
who once shared the ring with Crawford, believes the clock may be ticking on Canelo. With nearly 70 fights behind him, Porter says the Mexican star can't possibly be the same fighter he was a decade ago. Once an A+ talent, he now grades him an A-, still elite, but no longer untouchable. Porter argues that fighters who once showed fear of Canelo gave him control, but Crawford won't hesitate. Against a man who refuses to back down, even the smallest signs of decline could be magnified.
You will see within the first opening half is him working behind the jab. He does not work behind the jab. He is not geared for the tactical approach. And the only other approach, which is the Hail Mary, is that you hurt the gorilla neck boy. You know, this freaking gorilla exercise.
Don't rely on that.
He's hard to hurt, man. He's hard to hurt.
Don't rely on hurting Canelo. I think
That's what I'm saying. Triple G
jab
didn't drop him. All these fighters been hitting him.
Take a page from Bivol and Mayweather. What they do, they fought behind the jab, they kept the distance, they've used the entire ring, and that's something that he can bring to the table. Use that distance from
Bivol
both
backed him up.
But the funny thing is, with the extra body weight, is he agile?
Yeah.
Is the footwork going to be able to move, still use the ring, and as those later rounds, round 7,
that's what I
the
said
second
to you
half,
last week,
8,
14 pounds matters.
9, 10, you know, as the pressure continues. You know, the other thing too is Canelo lost a little bit of his bite. He hasn't been tremendously, you know, devastating and taking people out. So that helps.
Keith Thurman added his own perspective, noting that Canelo is tough to hurt.
Crawford's
Triple G
favor.
and countless others prove that. For Crawford, the key will be discipline, working behind the jab, using distance and staying mobile. But with added weight, will his legs stay fresh in the late rounds? That's the gamble. Thurman also pointed out that Canelo no longer finishes opponents as brutally as before, which could tilt things toward Crawford. This fight, he says, comes down to size versus agility and how long Crawford can keep his rhythm. The stage is set and the tension is electric. Crawford has rebuilt his body for this moment, stepping into Canelo's division with history in his sights. Canelo, on the other hand, defends his throne on a weekend that means everything to Mexico. Every rumor, every prediction, every cheer or boo has built to this point. Now, only the ring will decide. This isn't just about belts, it's about legacy. Canelo fighting to prove he's still boxing's king. Crawford chasing immortality as the first man to conquer 3 divisions. When the bell rings, only one story will remain.